Good morning, class. Today we are here to discuss about the banking system, Indian banking system. Before I begin with the topic, let me tell you what does the word bank means. Bank here means to have a transaction from one side to the other side. It is the acceptance of deposit or lending of loans. These are two major activities which a bank performs. So we'll see the categorization of banks, how the banks are categorized. You see, basically categorized into two categories: organized sector and unorganized sector. Organized banking and unorganized banking. Organized banking is one which is run, managed and implemented with the effort from the Reserve Bank of India's side. It is the Reserve Bank of India who plans and formulates all the policies concerned with the banking sector. So Reserve Bank of India is basically the head of the banking sector, which prepares and formulates all the plans and policies for it. All the Indian banking systems, all the Indian banks, whether it is a foreign bank running into our country, it is a cooperative bank, it is a regional rural bank, or development bank, or commercial banks, they all fall under the guidelines of the Reserve Bank of India. Reserve Bank of India formulates the plans for all, and that is why RBI is known to be bankers' bank. That means it is the head institution which plans and formulates all the policies for the concerned banks. So today we see the categorization of these different banks into organized and unorganized sector. There are some unorganized banking systems even, that is non-banking institutions, non-banking financial institutions, even known as NBFCs. NBFCs. The banking system is categorized into parts, that is organized and unorganized. Organized is one which is run with the help of Reserve Bank of India, RBI Act 1934. Okay, that too under the RBI Act 1934. Whereas non-banking organizations or unorganized banking do not have any principal institution which plans to formulate the policies for it. Okay, for example, chit funds, nidhis, all these are examples of NBFCs, non-banking financial companies. These are even called as NBFCs. That is non-banking financial companies. Non-banking financial companies. Now, as far as organized banking is concerned, it is categorized into commercial, cooperative, developmental banks and even mutual funds. We'll talk about the first organized banking. Organized banking is categorized into four parts. The first is commercial bank, the second is cooperative bank, the third is development bank, and the fourth is mutual fund. We call it MFs. Okay, mutual funds. See, this is the categorization or subcategory of organized banking. Organized banking is subcategorized into commercial bank, cooperative bank, development bank, and the last is mutual fund. So one by one we'll see what they are and how do they function. Commercial banks functions under the Companies Act 1913. Under the Companies Act 1913. Companies Act commercial bank functions under the Companies Act 1930. Now, this has sub-categorization again. This sub-categorization are again done into three parts. One is public, second is private, and the third is RRB. I'll tell you what these all are. Commercial banks are categorized into public sector bank, private sector bank, and regional rural bank. Regional rural bank. So, what is a commercial bank? What is a commercial bank? That is first important. A commercial bank is a type of bank that provides services such as accepting deposits, making business loans, and offering basic investment products of the products that is operated in a business for profit. So commercial bank is basically involved into acceptance of deposit and lending of loans. Two major function: acceptance of deposit and lending of loans. Other activities apart from these, apart from the main activities, the subsidiary activities which a commercial bank performs is payment of taxes, acting as a mediator for the loan, and payment of EMIs. All the business procedures or all the business activities which are done with the help of a commercial bank, with the help of a bank, that falls under the category of commercial bank, and these are operated under the Companies Act 1913. Okay. Now, these are categorized into public, private, and RRBs. Public sector bank is one which is owned, run, and managed by the government of India. If we talk in our country, it is owned, run, and managed by government of India. It is called as public sector bank. As of now, there are altogether 22 public sector banks are there. 22 public sector banks are there. The newly started public sector bank is the one is Bharatiya Mahila Bank, which was started in the year 2013. Bharatiya Mahila Bank, and the last before that was their IDBI Bank, which was last which got the recognition of the government, was there, and SBI was there, State Bank of India was there, along with its subsidiaries. There were 5 subsidiaries of State Bank of India which got merged into one. So the number reduced to 1. That is why before there were 28 public sector banks, but now there are only 22 public sector banks. Okay, Bharatiya Mahila Bank is the latest addition in the year 2013 by Manmohan Singh. Was inaugurated on 19th November by ex-Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. Okay. So this is about the public sector banks. The one that is run, owned, managed by the government of India is a public sector bank. Whereas private sector bank is a bank which is run, owned, and managed by the private individuals. But they fall under the category of banking channel, so they have to abide by the rules and regulations which are framed by Reserve Bank of India under the RBI Act 1934. Means all the private banks that are operating in India, they are free to operate. They are free to operate after the 1991. 1991 is a remarkable year in India because in this year only we follow the LPG policy. LPG is liberalization, privatization, and globalization. In a short term, for now, this we have to study in detail in the coming chapters. But for now, you just understand this part that the government liberalized itself. The government gave a free hand to the public ventures, to the public sectors, to the private sectors, I beg your pardon, to the private sector, to come to the act and set up their ventures in our country, create employment opportunities, and let the people be a part of the organization. but they have to abide the rules and regulations of the government organization. In this case, private sector, they are following the rules and regulations which are framed by Reserve Bank of India. Okay, under the private sector, the foreign banks even fall. Foreign banks come under the category of private sector banks only. For example, some of the foreign banks that are operating in India with a good number of branches, like for example, there are 38 foreign banks which are operating in India, and they have 350 plus branches in our country. 38 foreign banks operating in India with more than 350 branches. Some of the foreign banks are Standard Chartered Bank, which is the head office is in UK, HSBC, the head office is in Hong Kong, ABN AMRO, the head office is in Netherlands, and another you have Citibank, that the head office is in USA. So these are some of the big foreign banks which are having its branches in India, and they are operating on a free hand. This was possible because of the LPG policy only, which was adopted in the year 1991 by P.V. Narasimha Rao government, our ex-Prime Minister, during the year 1991. The last is RRBs. RRB stands for Regional Rural Bank. Regional Rural Bank. These are the banks which are set up in which are owned and set up in the remotest area of the country. Okay, they were set up in the on 2nd of October 1975. Means tomorrow we are celebrating its 46th birthday. Tomorrow, 2nd October, we are celebrating its 46th birthday. Okay, so 2nd October 1975 it was set up by Indira Gandhi, our ex-Prime Minister again, in order to help the rural people, those who are farmers, those who are small scale owners. They might get help, they may get help from these RRBs. RRBs are concerned towards, RRBs are inclined towards helping the poor sections of the society so that their life can be improved, their standard can be improved. That is why RRBs are set up in the remotest part of the country. I'll put it till here only, the commercial bank. Tomorrow we shall discuss about the cooperative, development and mutual funds. Thank you, class.